Welcome, welcome. My name is Bee, and today we're going to start class with the mat rolled up, rather. So you can use a mat rolled up like this, or you're welcome to roll up a towel or a blanket. And then we're going to place this perpendicular to the length of our spine. And you'll find your armpit. You'll feel kind of the base of your shoulder blade behind your back. And that's where we're aiming to land the mat as we lay down. So you'll have that mat roll kind of poking out to either side of the armpits. And then from there, lean your head back into your hands. And then see if you can just bring your head all the way down to the floor. If you can't, no big deal. Just unroll the mat a little bit. And then once you have your head supported by the ground, see if you can bring your arms into kind of a goalpost shape. And you want to find a position of the arms, whether they're more straight out to the side in a T shape or more bent in this cactus shape. Find a place where your forearms and the backs of your hands can rest heavy on the floor. We're just getting right into the chest opener, the heart opener here. And we'll see if we can use the breath to create a little more space around the tissues surrounding the chest. So close your eyes. Empty all the air out of your lungs. And then take a nice deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Nice, long inhale. And a complete exhale. Inhale to fill up, expand outward, take up more space. And then as you exhale, see if you can relinquish all effort here. Again, inhale, feel the effort behind drawing fresh air in. Feel the growth. And then as you exhale, drop into that sense of surrender. And just try that a couple more times on your own. Feeling the opposition within each individual breath. It's this exploration of polarities that leads us to a state of feeling centered. I'm swinging from one end of the spectrum to the next. You can find these really magical moments where you're perfectly sandwiched between the two sides. And we'll exaggerate that with the breath here by doing a 4-part breath, which means we'll inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, then exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4. And so you'll get this opportunity to really feel each end of the breath, complete fullness, complete emptiness. And it can be really nice to do that at the start of class, to just really lay down the foundation of a steady, smooth, balanced breath to follow. So here we go. Empty all the air out of your lungs. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Feel that fullness. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. Feel how empty you are. See if you can even soften the neck even while you hold the breath out. And then the inhale arrives for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Feel how much space you have across the collarbones. And then see if you can just melt as you exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. No worries. The next breath is coming. Just be. And then no rush on the inhale. Here we go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Feel the heart lifting skyward. Nice and slow. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold at the bottom. Feel that support of the core here. Arms stay heavy. And then we're done. Nice fluid inhale. Immediately into the exhale. Reach both arms up overhead. Biceps by the ears. Feel the sides of the arms stretch out. That area right around the armpits. And then I'll have you roll to one side. Press yourself up. And we'll roll out our mats. So, let's face this way. On the mat, come into your plank. Fingers spread out nice and wide. Elbow creases spin forward. Can you keep a sense that there's still a broadness across the chest as you reach your heart towards the top of the mat? And then take a nice big breath in there. And nice and slow as you exhale, we'll lower to the belly. No, you can always drop the knees if you need. Press the tops of the feet down. Stretch your tailbone towards your heels. And we'll find low cobra as you inhale. Curl the heart up. Now imagine that strap or that mat right across the upper back, right at the base of the shoulder blades there. And curling up around that imaginary mat, can you engage more musculature around the shoulder blades to broaden the chest? Gaze is down the bridge of the nose. Take another big breath in. And then exhale to lower. We'll do that 2 more times, this time with the breath. Inhale. Curl the heart up. Reach back through the elbow tips. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Elbows hug in. Press up to all fours. And then back to child's pose. So separate the knees a little wider. Bring your big toes to touch. And sit your hips all the way back towards the heels as you stretch your arms forward on the mat. Keep the palms pressing down into the floor as you draw the outer hip creases back and down. And then you can stay here, or if you want to take the shoulder opening a little further, bring your palms to touch, and then bring your thumbs to the nape of the neck. You might even walk the elbow tips forward a little bit from there. And just start to feel that space widen around the angle of the armpit. So feel that growth as you take a big breath in. And that surrender and ease as you take a big breath out. And then stretch the arms forward. Come back up to your hands and your knees. Step it back into plank. The distance between your hands and your feet here is a good place to start for downward dog. So with the fingers spread out nice and wide, from here, just lift the hips, press the belly back towards the thighs, and start to create a global sense of length from the hands all the way up to the hips, from the hips all the way down to the feet. And when you get here, you might bend one knee at a time, drop the opposite heel, work into the calves and the feet. So what makes yoga so endlessly interesting is that we're constantly trying to embody opposite ideas all at once. And I can't even say opposites because there's like this whole group of polarities we're trying to cultivate within each breath, within each posture. And so see if you can start to find a balance, even in your downward dog, between engagement and disengagement, between strength and flexibility, between effort and ease, right? It's never just this or that. In fact, it's usually always this and that at the same time, which means there's always something to be working on in this practice. And whatever you come to the mat with, this practice can respond to that accordingly, so that you can leave here feeling like that balanced, best version of yourself. Feel the strength in your arms. See if you can feel simultaneous ease in the neck. Take another big breath in and out. Now, start to walk your feet forward towards your hands. We'll find a forward fold at the top of the mat. You might have the knees bent a little bit so you can really rest the belly on the top of the thighs and then let the torso hang really heavy from there. Kind of the head gets heavy. Feel the buoyancy, feel the uplift as you take a big breath in. And then feel that grounding downward force of the exhale. Try that one more time. Now as you inhale, lift halfway up, stretch the chest forward, reach the tailbone back, nice long spine, and exhale to fold back down. With a nice long inhale, come up to stand, reach your arms out and up, maybe palms touch overhead. And then hands in front of the heart, exhale. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Lift your heart into your thumbs. And then stretch the tailbone down a little bit so you have that support of the low belly. And just feel your breath moving beneath your thumbs here. This constant oscillation back and forth between fullness and emptiness. And it really invites these two wonderful questions of what could I fill up on more in life? And what things could I relinquish and let go of? This is a really good time to be asking yourself those two questions. And so we'll see if we can really embody that today on the mat. So we'll start with Surya Namaskara A, but we'll add in that 4-part breath. So each time we inhale, it'll be slow for a count of 4, and then we'll pause at the top for a count of 4. Each time we exhale, it'll be for a count of 4, and then we'll pause in whatever shape we're at, empty for that count of 4. So from here, exhale all the air out of your lungs. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Get taller for 3, 2, 1. Forward fold, exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, halfway lift for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale to plank for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, stretch your heart forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Really slow chaturanga for 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll find Cobra. Anchor the feet, lift the heart for 3, 2, 1. Really slow exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up to plank. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, inhale, lift the heels. And exhale, step your feet forward, top of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Right away, exhale, fold. Big inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Okay, we'll do the same thing again, this time without the holds, just fluidly, steadily. Finding that sthira within the practice. Empty all the air out of your lungs. Inhale to stretch the arms up, maybe look up. Right away, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, nice long spine. Think plank in the torso here. Exhale, step back to your plank. Now you're ready. Inhale, again, get longer as you reach the heart forward. Chaturanga as you exhale, bend the elbows halfway. Your choice from here, Cobra or up dog as you inhale. Lift up through the crown of the head. We'll meet back in down dog on the exhale. Take 3 fluid breaths here. And then inhale to lift the heels. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Big inhale, come to stand. Reach the arms out and up, get tall. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Take a big breath in. And out. Surya Namaskara B. Inhale, stretch the arms up, sit the hips low. Keep the knees bent. Exhale, just lean forward more. Stretch your hands back by your hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades, right? Think Cobra here in the upper back. Inhale, we'll reach the arms back up. Again, exhale, hands back by the hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Broaden your chest. One more. Inhale. Lift up through the thumbs. This time, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fluid with the breath. Exhale, back to plank. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Chaturanga as you exhale, bend the elbows halfway. Keep the chest broad. Cobra or up dog. Inhale. Back to down dog. Exhale. As you inhale, stretch your right leg up nice and high. And as you exhale, step it between your hands. Come up to Virabhadrasana A, or Warrior One. Arms reach up. Exhale, soften the shoulders. bend into that right knee a little bit more, but anchor that left heel. So push into the back foot. Where could you engage a little bit more? For most of us, that's the support around the low belly, the back leg. And then where could you disengage and create a little more ease? And for a lot of us, that's the tops of the shoulders, the jaw, the space between the eyebrows. So constantly ask yourself these two questions. Where could I engage? Where could I become a little more interested? And where could I relinquish my grip on things? Take an inhale here. Exhale, lean forward halfway. Sweep your hands back by your hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Draw your outer right hip crease back. And then inhale, come back to warrior one. Lift up through the ribs. Exhale, lean forward halfway. Really draw those shoulder blades together. One more, inhale. Exhale. Back to warrior one, inhale. Hands to the mat, exhale. Back to plank, inhale. Get long, firm up the legs. Vinyasa as you exhale. Left leg lifts, inhale, reach up through the inner heel. Exhale, step it between the hands. Virabhadrasana A, rise with the breath. And then soften the shoulders. Root down through the feet. Right? Find that sthira, that groundedness, that steadiness. And then where could you find the ease or the lift, the Sukham within the asana? Keep drawing your thumbs back in space, but keep stretching the tailbone down a little bit as you connect to that right thigh. Take a big breath in here. Exhale, lean forward halfway. Sweep your hands back by your hips. Keep that left outer hip drawing back. Push into the feet. Inhale, rise back up. Warrior one. Exhale to lean. Inhale. Exhale. Warrior one, inhale. Hands to the mat, exhale. Back to plank, inhale. Vinyasa as you exhale. Cobra or up dog. We meet up in down dog. Now as you inhale, lift up through the heels. And as you exhale, step your feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale, find that nice long spine. This is core work. And then exhale to fold. Utkatasana, fierce pose. Bend the knees, sit the hips, stretch the arms. And then bring your hands to the nape of the neck here. Bring the elbows in towards one another, and then see if you can lift up through the elbow tips. Again, imagine that mat behind your back right at the base of the shoulder blades. So the tailbone actually continues to drop down a little bit, and then as you lift up through the elbow tips, you're lifting more right behind the heart. Take a big breath in. Ooh, I know it's hard. You got this. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, back to your plank. Inhale, get long, feel strong. Vinyasa as you exhale. Cobra or up dog. Down dog as you exhale. Right leg lifts again, inhale. Exhale, stretch it forward, warrior one. Rise with your breath. This time, interlace your hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Hug them in. If this doesn't work for your shoulders, just grab opposite forearms behind your back. Feel the broadness across your chest. Keep that. Lean forward halfway. Keep drawing that outer right hip back in space. Rely on the strength between your shoulder blades to keep your arms in this position rather than the clasp of the hands or the elbow joints. Warrior three. As that left leg lifts, so does the low belly. Keep stretching your tailbone towards that left heel as it lifts high. Keep reaching your heart towards the front of the room. And then can you connect to your breath? Can you find that perfect balance of the inhale and the exhale? That perfect balance of effort and ease. One more breath. With your clasp, warrior two. Land that left foot at the back of the mat, perpendicular to the right. Again, redraw the shoulder blades together so you're not just hanging out in the elbows, the wrists. And then bend into that right knee. Make sure it stacks over the ankle. Lift the back foot a little bit as you roll the outer edge to the mat. Draw the belly back as the heart lifts up. And then can you continue to let your belly move as you breathe though? Horse stance, pivot on the feet, toes out, knees out at the same angle. So if you need to widen the toes, you can. Just make sure that the knees aren't caving in. So if you need to narrow the feet, you can. And then draw the shoulder blades back, sit down nice and low, stretch your arms up. Grab opposite elbows overhead. Pull your forearms back in space. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Feel that three-dimensional growth around the ribs. Now exhale, where could you soften? For 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. Feel the strength in the core. Feel the strength in your legs. And then fluid breath, inhale. Exhale. Release the arms, straighten the legs, parallel your feet. Find a wide-legged forward fold. So the knees might have a little bend to them so that you can really lift up through the sit bones and then let the crown of your head hang heavy. If you want an extra release for the neck, you can interlace your fingers at the nape of the neck. Wrap your forearms around the temples. And it's not that you're tugging on your head, but you just have that added weight of the arm to help traction the spine. As you let the crown of the head continue to drop heavy, feel your tailbone get lighter. Right? It's this constant exploration of opposites. One end gets heavy while one end gets the opportunity to grow higher towards the sky. Your legs are strong, but there's an ease and a softness in the upper body. It's never just one thing, which can make yoga frustrating. You're like, I thought I was doing it right. And then everyone's like, actually, there is no right. You're like, damn it. Take another breath. Release the clasp if you've got it. Walk towards your right foot, frame the right foot. And then step it back to meet the left. You're in a plank. From your plank, lower to a forearm plank. So your elbows are right under your shoulders. And you can choose, forearms can be parallel, or you can bring your fingers to interlace. Stretch the chest forward as you push your forearms into the mat simultaneously. Knees can be lowered or lifted. But don't let those hips sag towards the mat. Keep the broadness in the low back. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, I'll have everybody lower the hips to the floor. So, press the tops of your feet down. Stretch your tailbone towards your heels. That gives you some freedom, some space in the low back. And then push down into the elbows. Lift up through the crown of the head. Imagine you could drag yourself forward on the mat. Now we've got that engagement right at the base of the shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades. And it's really waking up this area of the body that can give us a lot of relief around the neck and the base of the skull. So feel that strength here as you continue to try and drag yourself forward on the mat. Take an inhale, feel the crown of the head lift even higher. And then as you exhale, push into your forearms, push into your wrist creases. Your knees will stay down, but see if you can lift your hips And as you push into the forearms, press your belly back towards your thighs. So we're in this kind of modified dolphin shape. And then we're going to flow with the breath like this. So on your next inhale, nice and slow, can you pull yourself forward back into Sphinx, just controlling that descent of the hips and then lifting up through the crown of the head. So you got to make it really slow so you have time to make that movement. Exhale. Dig into the knees, lift the hips, reach your belly back towards those thighs. And then inhale, drag yourself forward, back into Sphinx. Try a couple more like that. Keep pushing into the wrists, and that'll help you connect to that deep front line, those deep core supporting muscles. This is also a great way to teach your body how to control the movement of the pelvis, aka how to use your core to support your low back. Take one more. And then come back down to your belly. Slide your hands next to your chest. You can take Cobra up dog if you'd like, or just press right back to downward dog. That's where we'll meet. Fingers spread out nice and wide. Feel the length from the pinky fingers all the way up to the hip creases. And then second side. Inhale, reach the left leg up nice and high. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior one, rise with your breath. And then interlace your hands behind your back, maybe with the opposite thumb on top. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to get the arms behind you. Even the inner elbows draw towards one another. Keep the heart lifting up, and then lean forward halfway with the collarbone still wide. That outer left hip crease draws back. Keep this broadness of the chest, warrior three. Now find a broadness in the low back as that right heel lifts. Don't let gravity pull the front of the shoulders down towards the floor. So we find the groundedness through that left foot, and then a sense of expansiveness everywhere else. So there's length from the crown of the head all the way through that right foot. Take another breath. Keep your clasp, warrior two. So land that right foot perpendicular to the left. Recommit to that squeeze of the shoulder blades. Draw the knuckles down. Feel the sides of the neck lengthen. Bend into the left knee a little bit more. Make sure it stacks over the ankle. Can you lift the right arch as you roll the outer right foot to the mat? Strengthen the legs. Freedom in the neck. Come back to your breath. And then we'll come into horse stance. Pivot. Both feet out, heels in. As you bend into your knees, make sure they track towards the toes. So now there's a lift to the arches of both feet simultaneously. Feel the strength in your outer hips there, accessing a nice opening through the inner thighs. All right, stretch your arms up overhead. Grab opposite elbows, pull the forearms back in space. Feel that imaginary mat behind you again. Find the lift from there. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. 4-part breath. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Look around. Where can you soften? Because you get the opportunity here as you exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold. Be empty. Don't let yourself panic. Just hold there. The next breath will come. Here it is. Fluid breath in. Fluid breath out. Straighten the legs. Release the arms. Parallel your feet. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged fold. Knees have a little bend as you lower the torso. Find the buoyancy of the breath here as you take a big breath in. You might even feel the upper back lift a millimeter. And then as you exhale, you get to drop a millimeter. Creating space, and then softening into it. Arms can do whatever you want here. Take 3 more breaths. And then as you inhale, lift halfway up. We'll walk it towards the left foot, frame it with your hands, and then we'll step back to plank. Left foot meets the right. Get longer front to back, and then lower the elbows, forearm plank, right under the shoulders. Fingers clasped or forearms parallel. And then we'll take it into Dolphin. So from here, walk your feet in as you lift up through the tailbone. Anchor the thumbs and the index fingers. Push into the creases of your wrists. Stretch the mat away from you as you lift up through the tailbone even higher. The knees can have a little bend to create some slack for the low back. Now, even amidst all of that engagement, can you let the crown of your head just hang towards the floor here? Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Feel the struggle, which is pretty obvious in Dolphin. And then more subtly, notice the places where there is ease in the body, right? Can you notice that the brain gets to rest in the roof of the skull here? The vertebra of the cervical spine get to experience a sense of spaciousness. Take another nice slow breath. And then from here, either make your way through a vinyasa or just come right back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, stretch that right leg up nice and high. And as you exhale, step your right foot between the hands. Warrior one, rise with your breath. And then Garudasana Eagle, sweep that left elbow under the right. Back of the hands touch. Maybe the forearms wrap. The palms touch. Or if you know that your shoulders are tight or you have a broad chest, just grab opposite shoulders. We're just looking to create some space in the back of the shoulders here. So now step your left knee over the right. You might wrap the left foot behind the calf. You can also use the left toes against a block or the floor as a kickstand. Here's where we get to drop into the polarities within a pose. So sit down nice and low in the hips. Feel that groundedness, that steadiness. And then grow upward through the fingertips. Send your breath to your upper back. Expand and soften. Big breath in and out. Now step your left foot back, warrior two stance. Stretch that right arm forward, left arm back. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and then bring the hand to the nape of the neck. Grab that left elbow, pull the elbow back in space as you wrap your tricep towards the ear. Okay, wrap that outer right hip towards the floor. And it'll almost feel like that left hip starts to push forward towards that long edge of the mat. And then the heart stays lifted, but we come into side angle pose. So lean forward halfway. Keep wrapping that outer right hip towards the floor, and then reach through the left elbow tip as you anchor that outer left foot. Feel your core strength as your breath moves through it. The practice is really just to stay awake enough to be able to discern for yourself where to hold on and where to let go. Where could I fill up my cup? And what could I relinquish? Take another breath. As you inhale, release that left arm, reverse warrior, right arm reaches up and back. And then as you exhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat. Three-legged downward dog, right leg reaches high. And then three-legged dolphin, lower the forearms to the mat. So stretch your belly back towards that left thigh, lift up through the inner right heel. You might stay here, drawing that outer left hip crease back and working to lift that right heel a little higher, or you might take a couple hops. If you're at home and you want to try forearm stand, you can play around with just coming into those moments of floating. And then you come back down. Take one more breath. We'll meet back in down dog. From here, take a vinyasa. You inhale to your plank. Vinyasa as you exhale. Keep your chest broad so those elbows hug in. Cobra or up dog. I recommend switching it up often. We meet up in down dog. Right away, left leg lifts high. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior one, rise with your breath. And then eagle arms, exhale, hook that right elbow under the left. Wrap your forearms, grab the palms. Feel the strength in that left leg. And then step your right leg over it. Garudasana, eagle. How would it feel? Actually, think about it, to be an eagle. Think of how much grace they embody as they move throughout the sky. Could you feel that sort of freedom in your upper body here? Keep lifting up through the fingertips. Moving from the strength in that left leg, step it back, warrior two. Stretch that left arm forward, right arm back. Sit down nice and low in that left leg, and then that right arm will reach up. Reach for the nape of the neck. Left elbow can left arm can help guide that right elbow back. And then just start to lean forward halfway. Keep wrapping that outer left hip down. The right thigh stays firm, and then you reach from there out of that right elbow. Take another breath. Push into that left leg. Inhale, reverse your warrior, release that right arm. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat. Three-legged down dog, sweep that left leg high. Three-legged dolphin, lower the forearms. Again, you might stay here, just working on lifting up through that left heel and lifting the hips over the shoulders so you get used to bearing weight there. You might play around with just a couple little hops. Or you might start to make those hops bigger and work on the balance. Take another breath. Downward facing dog. Inhale, float forward to your plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Shalabhasana, stretch your arms back by your sides, untuck the toes. Inhale, curl the heart up, lift the palms up, lift the feet up, roll the inner thighs up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift your heart. And then spin the thumbs up to help lift the heart even higher. Stretch out through the feet just as much as you're lifting the legs up. So you're long front to back, even as your ends elevate. Take another breath in and relax. Bring your palms to stack and then just let your forehead rest on the back of the hands. And then see if you can let your armpits soften towards the floor from there. And feel your breath move along the length of your spine, especially around the upper back. We'll find Shalabhasana again. Feel free to repeat that same version of the arms, or if you'd like, find a clasp behind your back to make it a little deeper. Either way, squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift the chest, lift the legs, reach back through the fingertips. As you reach back through the fingertips, can you feel the neck lengthen, the collarbones widen? And then where could you create a little more interest, a little more engagement? And then where could you let go of your grip on things a little bit? I teach yoga because I so badly need to hear all of the things that I'm saying on a daily basis. And one of my teachers last week dropped one of those one-liners that kind of slaps you in the face. And he said, holding on is not the only way to make things happen. Right? Holding on is not the only way to make things happen. Take a big breath in. Exhale to release. Stack the hands, rest the forehead. And breathe. All you have to do is breathe. Watch yourself recover. Watch yourself slow down. And then slide your hands next to your chest. Press yourself up to your hands and your knees. And then back to downward facing dog. Re-lengthen. Notice how different this down dog feels compared to the first one. Thank God, am I right? Thank goodness we are capable of change. Let that be one of our greatest strengths, is just this ability to adapt and shift on a daily basis. Walk your feet towards your hands, land them wide, and then lower your hips for Malasana. So the toes turn out a little bit. So you have room to really wiggle the hips down nice and low. And you can stay up a little higher if you need some more support for the knees. But use your arms to really widen the knees away from the midline. And then lift up through the crown of the head. Let the tailbone be heavy. Take a full belly breath. And then lower to a seat. We'll find Sukhasana from here. Bring your right shin in front of the left. So you're in this crisscross shape. And then you'll just walk the hands forward. For those of you that have a little more flexibility in the hips and the low back, you can add in a shoulder opener here by crossing that left arm under the right. So your arms are in this dragonfly shape. And if you want to see that head on, you're here. And this is a really great shape to observe the power of your breath to move beyond the lungs. Within the ancient yoga texts, there's actually very few words that talk about the asana, the physical postures. But the ones that do pack a potent punch. And the most notable being Sthira, Sukha, Asanam. Sthira, which I mentioned earlier, is this steadiness, this groundedness. It can also be thought of as integrity and commitment. And the Sukham is that awesome balancing counterpoint, which offers grace, ease, a gentleness, a softness. And Asanam translates into seat. And in this case, it can be thought of as our seat in the world. Switch sides. As you lean your torso forward, just come into that perfectly uncomfortable territory where you can breathe and explore. Sthira Sukham Asanam. The steady yet graceful seat we take in the world. This practice on the mat in the container of our bodies is just this microcosm that represents everything else. So good for you for making a point to roll out your mat, to seek out yoga, to press the play button, to get this far. Knowing that what we practice here translates directly into how we live our lives. It really is so much more than just a workout. Take another breath here. And then ease yourself out of that one. You get to lie down on your back. As you lie down here, consider what it is your body needs. For me, I favor back bends over forward folds. So a bridge might be a great kind of balancing counterpose to that seated forward fold. If you're vibing with the hip openers, you might take happy baby, or maybe you'd prefer a twist here, right? So you've got a couple options. We'll just take about 2 minutes here before Shavasana. So bridge, a hip opener, maybe a twist, maybe wheel. It's up to you. I'll leave the ball in your court. But 2 minutes, which might even just be like 6 breaths if you take them deep enough, take them slow enough. And with the ball in your court, my language gets to fade into the background. And your breath guides you into just feeling whatever posture you're in. And see if you can just fully take residence within your body here. As you're ready, make your way onto your back and find the perfect place for your head to rest, the perfect place for your arms to rest, the perfect place for your legs to be, so that you can arrive fully into the glow of your practice. Shavasana, this moment to bask in the effects that come from all the efforts of both engagement and disengagement, effort and ease, that strength and flexibility. May you rest here in a place that feels a little more balanced, even if it only lasts for a fleeting moment. Can you savor it? I'll leave you here as long as you'd like in your home practice. As you continue to ask yourself, where could I fill up more in my life? And where could I perhaps let go of some control, right? Where could I unclench? May you find your seat in the world with steadiness and grace. Right? Sthira, Sukham, Asanam. Thanks for practicing with me. Namaste.